Hey there, friends. Let's dive into how I make mouth-watering Jamaican stew peas with a twist. Keep watching to the end. Here I have some Gala brand kidney beans, and you can use any brand that you want to use kidney beans. So I'm going to use 2 pounds, which would be considered equivalent to 2 packs. So I'm going to put these to give them a wash and put them to soak. All right. Over here, I put the pigtail to scald. About 4 pieces of tail. Well, this one probably make 2 tails cut in half. So this is gonna be scalding. This corned pigtail, right? Okay, guys, I finished seasoning the beef. These are like little cutlets of beef stew and some chicken feet. And this I'm gonna make some stew peas, but I like to season my meat and have it sit and soak, and as I'm not cooking the peas along with the meat, you know, and let it have a flavor on its own, you know, and so when you taste it, your meat tastes seasoned. Here's how I made the season. To my mix, I'm gonna be adding 1 teaspoon oxtail seasoning, Blue Mountain oxtail seasoning, and I'm gonna be also adding another teaspoon of Blue Mountain all-purpose seasoning. Then I add in like a half a teaspoon of Maggi beef seasoning, and then I'm going to add about another half a teaspoon as well of Maggi chicken seasoning. Okay, and then I'm gonna combine all of this. I'm gonna mix it in to my seasoning. The flavor, smell of all the herbs and seasonings. So in this mix we have bell peppers, jalapeno peppers, onion, garlic, scallion, thyme. It's all blended up here. Just mixing this, making my own seasoning here. Add some jalapeno here that didn't break well, but that's fine. Okay. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add my meat to this seasoning. Gonna add me some beef. It's already cleaned up. And chicken feet. Yeah. All wash and drain. Okay. And then I'm gonna give this a mix. I'm gonna really combine the seasoning in on this guy. Okay, guys, I have some pigtail here. I put it to scald maybe about 4 times, and then I leave it here in the water. I cut it up after about 2 times of scalding it. Then I cut it up and then let this, you know, it soak in, get everything out when it's cut. So now I'm just gonna let it sit and finish releasing the salt from within the meat. Okay, and that I'm gonna add to my peas to cook. The pigtail I'll add to the peas to cook, so the pigtail can give the peas that added flavor, and leaving a little bit of salt in there to give it a little bit of kick. All right, stay tuned. Okay, guys, here's the peas. The peas is soaking. I put it to soak for maybe about an hour now. Yes, so Here it is. This is 2 pounds of peas, 2 packs to make the stew peas. So I'm using salt beef, not salt beef, I'm using pigtail and some beef, fresh beef, and some chicken feet. So it's chicken feet, beef, and salted pigtail. All right, I finished scalding the pigtail. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the oven, and I'm gonna let this stay in the oven until it releases some of these fats on it, and didn't want to have too much of the tail. It was rather fatty, so I'm gonna put it in the oven and let it release some of its fat, and then I'll add it to the pot later. All right, so I finished cooking the meat for the stew peas. We have some beef here, stew beef, and some chicken feet. So this I'm gonna add to the pot of peas that is already cooked. Put the stove back on to bring it up to a boil, and then we're gonna add the meat in. It's already cooked. I didn't make them cook real soft, because at this point, this is where I'm gonna combine them so they can gel together. The peas is not hard to cook, and I also wanted the meat itself to have a flavor. So as you could see, I seasoned it, allow it to sit for about maybe about an hour and a half, and then I put it in the oven, in this Dutch oven, to just cook and get flavor. So this could eat by itself, guys, as it is. It's already seasoned and full of flavor. So now I'm gonna add it to the pot. I'll show you the process as we go. Okay, guys, for the pigtail, this just came out the oven. What I did with these pigtails, I scald them a couple times, then I cut them up, you know, make them into small pieces so that the salt can, you know, release from the rest of it. When it's whole, you can't get into it much. And then after that, I put it in the oven so it can kind of break down some of the fat. So if you notice, it's not as fatty as the first one. And then I pour some of the water from the peas on it and put it back in the oven, because the peas was almost cooked. So these are cooked separately. Some of us don't eat pork, so for those who eat pork, we'll have this version. So I'm gonna put some of the peas in this one, and I'm gonna build the stew peas as well. All right, and then I'm gonna add the other pot, which is the stew beef and the chicken feet in as well, and make a separate pot. So everything is cooked and flavored up. This is the good old stew peas, but with a modern flair. Just trying to reduce some of the fat from it, and also to make the meat becomes more flavorful. So the flavor is not only in the stew itself, but also in the meat when you're eating it. The texture will be just really nice. All right, stay tuned. Okay, guys, I've separated both pots. This one is with the stew beef and the feet, chicken feet, and this one is with all three. I just took some of the sauce and everything and put it on the pigtail, the one with the pigtail. So yeah, and I'm using 2 different spoons. I have to use 2 different colors, guys, so I can know the difference, so I don't mix them up, you know. So yeah, I'll show you the step by step. Okay, guys, now it's time to make the spinners. So in one of the spinners, I put cornmeal in the flour. It's not spinners yet, but I put a little cornmeal in there because some people don't like to eat dumpling without flour, without cornmeal in there. And some don't like to have the cornmeal in the spinners because it's so traditional for us to have it without. So I separated. Yeah, it's a bit much, right? But anyway, I want everybody to enjoy their dinner. So I'm going to be adding some water and sort of combine this dough. I forget to add my salt. Instead of putting salt in it, guys, I'm going to add some seasoning powder. Okay, just gonna drizzle a little bit of Maggi, just so that it can be flavorful. You're not just eating, you know, a bland dumpling. You can always season the water as well. So I'm gonna let the dumpling has a little, you know, a nice little taste to it. Have you ever had stew peas and after you're eating it, it's like even a day after, it's just a softy, bland dumpling that if you don't have the peas in there, the stew to eat it, it's just there. Well, this is what you do when you want your dumpling to have a little bit of taste to the bite. Doesn't let you feel so guilty that you're having flour. And then this one is gonna be, let me mixing in the Maggi, keeping them separate. Combine the flour. Then I'm gonna go in with my hands, just combine them. And I'll show you the process. So there you have it, guys. I'm finished making the dumplings. The one on my right, which is your left, is the cornmeal, and the other one is the plain flour. So I'm gonna go ahead and make these spinners and put them in the pot. Okay, guys, so I've added some coconut cream to this, half an ounce of butter, a little bit of scallion, some dry thyme. If you have green thyme, it's fine, but my thyme is now dry, so I'm putting it as dry thyme. I had a pepper in there. Yeah, the pimento is all up in there when I seasoned it, and this is just gonna stay here. This is the one with the pigtail. So it has in pigtails, beef, and chicken feet, right? So we're gonna cover this and leave it to simmer. You should smell this kitchen, guys. Everything is just smelling so delicious. All right, now we're gonna move over to the one without the pigtail. So here it is, guys. It doesn't have any pigtail, so if you're not someone who likes to eat pigtail, there's a plate here for you as well. Smelling so good. Also have pepper, put some, you know, a little piece of scallion at last minute, the dry thyme again, a little pinch of butter. And I'm just gonna leave it to simmer for about 8 minutes or so, and then it's finished. Stew peas and rice. One with just chicken feet and beef, and the other with pigtail, chicken feet, and beef. Yum. Guys, so the stew peas is finished, and I'm about to plate it now. So you could tell the one with this pigtail in it, it's more vibrant in color, and this one is different, but they taste equally as good in their own unique way. Stay tuned for plating. We have come to the end of our video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Happy cooking. Bye for now.